Ultimate Guard is one of the leading card game accessory company out there, and I saw one of their really cool new products on Facebook the other day, so I just had to contact them to ask about it. But first of all, if you haven't heard of this company, you probably have heard or seen in a lot of different areas their flip and tray deck box. At my locals at least, it's one of the most popular deck boxes that people use. It's a really cool premium quality deck box that can not only hold your deck but also your dice, and that's sort of the whole idea of Ultimate Guard. Their stuff is a little bit more expensive than other companies, but you're getting a product that you know will last for a long time, which I think is awesome, because while some people just want the cheapest thing out there, Ultimate Guard really sets out to create products that'll last forever. Well, maybe not forever, but last a long time. Anyway, the product that I saw on their Facebook page was called the Sidewinder Chromiaskin. So the Sidewinder isn't the flip and tray size of a deck box, but it is a smaller deck box. It comes in either 80 count or 100 count, and what makes this version of it so special is that it's heat sensitive. Now, I have never seen this on any card game accessory ever. I believe Ultimate Guard is the pioneers for this sort of style of deck box, and it even is going to be coming out on mats later on, although those haven't been out of like the prototype stage, I believe. And anyway, this is one of the craziest ideas I've ever seen, and they posted some like videos of it and some sketches of it, and it seemed awesome. So what I did is I messaged them on Facebook, kind of told them that I wanted some review copies for my YouTube channel, and they graciously not only sent me a whole bunch of Chromiaskins, but also just a bunch of products. So they sent me their huge Super Hive product, which is this giant sort of chest thing. And one of the reasons that I like that so much compared to the other sort of chest products that I've looked at is that all of the Ultimate Guard stuff is kind of meant to be modular. So the deck boxes, both sizes, both the 80 count and the 100 count, and even the flip and tray, I got that to fit in there, they all perfectly fit inside of this chest, which is really cool. And there are smaller versions of the Super Hive as well that you can take a look at, and the Super Hive can also hold 2 mats rolled up, which is crazy. But so they sent me just like a whole bunch of stuff. They sent me the Super Hive, they sent me some mats, they sent me a flip and tray, they sent me a regular Sidewinder, they sent me Chromiaskin Sidewinders, they sent me these really cool bags that I can wear, they sent me a product book of like all of their products that are available, and it was awesome. I didn't ask for all that stuff, but I really appreciate it, and I'm not sponsored by them. They did not pay me for this video. They asked me to give an unbiased review of the Chromiaskins, so that is what I'm going to do today. Because this is a completely unbiased review, I'm going to say that the first couple seconds, and maybe even up to a couple minutes, that I had with this deck box was really underwhelming. I actually thought it was broken when I first opened it because I could not get it to change colors to save my life. And basically what I think happened is it was too cold. So the normal color that it is at 66 degrees Fahrenheit, and then it changes colors at 79 degrees Fahrenheit, and I live in Michigan. It's pretty cold, so I think that when I had the deck box sitting in my room, it got pretty cold, especially because it was sitting outside earlier that day, and I think what happened is that it was really tough to actually get it up to that 79 degrees, other than rubbing it really hard, which obviously when you do that, you get a lot of friction going, and then it gets warmed up and changes the color. I will say, though, that after a couple minutes past that, like the first 10 minutes that I was using it, up to the first 30 minutes, up to like an hour, it got better as time went on. What I think is sort of the thing that's happening here is that as you use it more and more, as you get it more and more warmed up, because by the way, I just wanted to do some tests, so I threw it on my heater and just saw what happened, and after it sat on the vent for a while, it did in fact get to like completely yellow, which is kind of crazy. But what I think happened was that once you get it close to that sort of 79 degree thing and then let it simmer back down to a lower temperature, I think once you get it warmed up, so to speak, even though it's still at the original color, it's a lot easier to manipulate it and then get it back up to that hotter temperature. So as I used it more and more, it definitely did change color easier and easier, which I think is worth mentioning. But in terms of like the initial out of the box experience, I can't say I was impressed. is this thing worth it to buy? Well, if we look on the website, it's only a couple dollars more to get this Chromiaskin version compared to the regular Xenoskin version, which is one that you probably are all familiar with. It's just like the really nice textured feeling. So it's only a couple dollars more to upgrade, and I think for that, it is in fact worth it. It'll pretty much be the only deck box of its kind for the foreseeable future, so you'll definitely know which deck box is yours. If you're like playing at a friend's house, there's a lot of deck boxes around, you'll know which one is yours. I think it's kind of far-fetched to claim that this is going to thwart people from stealing your deck box, because you can see like fingerprints or you can see like their hands on it. It's definitely not that sensitive, because even when I did get it warmed up, you definitely have to manipulate it for a little bit to actually get the color to stick on there, not just change for like a second or two, which I think is worth mentioning, because one of the selling points was that like, oh, it can sort of thwart people from taking it. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's just sort of like a novelty item, and in that regard, it is cool. There is another advantage, and that is when you're buying this product, you're getting the standard sort of Ultimate Guard quality that you would find in any of their Sidewinder deck boxes. That matters because the build quality on these things is insane. The magnets are super strong, the inside material, the fabric material feels great. The whole deck box just feels really, really sturdy. I feel super comfortable throwing it in my backpack. It's not like plastic or anything. It's a really nice material, great stitching on the outside as well. So I think that one of the big advantages of this compared to the sort of other deck boxes out there is that you know you're getting the build quality that is going to protect your cards the longest. Now, this is only on the Sidewinder products right now. It's not in the flip and tray, although I do think expanding to the flip and tray would be really interesting for two reasons. First of all, that's like their most popular product from what I can tell, so that's a good reason to do it. But also, I think a really cool possibility with the flip and tray is using two different colors. So there could be sort of the main face color that would take up the majority of it, such as red or maybe the blue. And then also for the part that covers the dice, they could then use a different color. This is super interesting with the Chromiaskins because that potentially leaves you with 4 different colors depending on which parts you're touching, which I think would give it a super unique look. I mean, in the 2 that I have here, we have black turning to white and then red turning to yellow. So you could have a deck box that was all those colors at one time, and I think that'd be really, really cool. I don't know if they can do that or if they're interested in doing that, but if that was something that they could do, I would definitely say that would be a good direction to go. I also think this technology, if they can get it to work, I don't really know anything about it, I think the mats will be way better than these deck boxes, only because, I mean, really think about it. How often are you touching your deck box? I mean, you touch it to take it out of your backpack, and that's fine. You might touch it to like side deck and stuff, but other than that, the deck box is just kind of sitting there. The mat, though, is where all the action happens, and I think that's what I want to see. I want to see how the mat looks, because you're setting your hands on your mat, you're setting your arms on your mat, you're touching your mat all over the place constantly. I think that's where this technology, if they can get it to work on a mat, which I assume they can because they've sort of been teasing it on their Facebook page, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to get my hands on. It's cool on a deck box, and it's even cooler because it's not too much more expensive than the normal deck boxes, but I don't know if the sort of novelty value is worth the technology. It almost feels like it's being wasted on a deck box. I want to see it on a mat. Now, that doesn't mean the technology itself is bad. I do think that the temperature shouldn't be 79 degrees. I don't know if my hands are like freezing or something, but it was difficult getting it up to that unless you were really messing around with it, which once again, because the deck box, you don't really do that. I think lowering that temperature to like 73 degrees or 74 degrees would be perfect. I think then I would have felt a lot better about actually handling it, because yeah, you can sit there and rub it and like make designs and stuff, but that's like really tedious. I almost felt like when I opened it that, oh, you can just kind of write on it with your finger. That's basically not going to happen. It's not that responsive because you need to hit it to 79 degrees. So unless you put your hands in hot water beforehand or warm them up somehow, it's just not going to happen. Now, I don't think that makes this product bad necessarily, but I think for like a first wave release, it's good. there is room for improvements. I think lowering that temperature would be really great. Other than that, though, I don't really have any complaints. I've kind of talked about all the products they sent me. I like the actual Ultimate Guard mat. It has their logo on it, but what I like about it is it's thicker. So when I took it out of the box that they sent me, I didn't actually even read that it was like the extra thick version, but I definitely could feel it. And then after I set it up, I went back and looked at the box and oh, it's extra thick. That's really cool. It definitely feels like high quality, which is kind of what you come to expect from the company Ultimate Guard. So that's not super surprising, but it's definitely worth noting. And if the Chromiaskin version of the mat is that thick as well, that'll be awesome because you have no fear of it like ripping or tearing or anything. Definitely feels like it'll be really sturdy. But that's pretty much going to wrap up my review of this. The link to their website will be in the description. I'd say go check it out. They have lots of cool products. I didn't get every single product on their website. They have like a whole bunch of stuff available. But yeah, I definitely recommend like the flip and tray, and I also do recommend these Chromiaskins if you want something that's really unique and that no one else has right now, because these kind of haven't made it to stores quite yet. They're mostly just online. Definitely check them out. So thank you Ultimate Guard for sending me all these awesome products. I really appreciate it. And thank you all to listening to this video and me giving my honest feedback on the new Chromiaskin deck boxes. Anyway though, I'll see you later. Bye.